Hello everyone, today is February the 15th, 2018. It is the day after Valentine's Day. Screw Valentine's Day, right? I know it's been a long time since I've really done very much updating. I think if you've seen my last video, you'll kind of understand why. Making that tribute video to Loki, it really took a lot out of me. And anyway, I'm back now. I'm in Sebring, Florida. I'm doing a fair called the, what is this one called?
Highlands County.
I'm doing the Highlands County Fair. This is day number 6 of it. We're already almost through. I'm out here having breakfast with the chainsaw carver.
Hey, got our ambition.
Yeah. This is Rod. He's been doing chainsaw carving for how long?
Don't tell anybody.
He's been at it for a while, and he's really good too. So don't worry about me too much, even though I am out on the road. I've got friends and people around me, and I'm going to make it through. A little update on a few more changes on the inside of the camper. First, and probably most obvious, being that the walls are now painted a sky blue, and the floor is painted a beige sandy color. Now, I know I said in the past that I would never paint the inside of this because I took function over form and I wouldn't waste money and time on paint because it didn't make any real difference. And I kind of like the wood, but I had to paint it out of necessity, and that is because after doing those initial repairs in the last video where I just changed out the panels on the back doors, put in new insulation and wiped down the walls, and then tried to stay in here for a couple of nights, the smell of smoke was just still very, very strong. And I'm not just talking about burnt wood smelling smoke, it was more of a burnt plastic smelling smoke, and it was to the point of me wondering if I was doing harm to my lungs because it was just that strong. And it was then that I realized that the repairs on the inside of this camper were going to be a little more in depth than just changing out some doors and new insulation. So that's when I actually got some help from Mom and Dad. They came down to Florida, and I know they're probably watching. I really, really appreciate you guys doing this. They needed to see some family down in Florida anyway, and Dad had a tractor part actually that he had to pick up in Georgia on the way, so they killed a few other birds with the same stone, and they came down and helped out. Me and Mom got this whole thing, pulled everything out, wiped everything down, every single appliance, every DVD case, everything had to be wiped down, even on the back and bottom of everything. And then we painted the walls, repainted the walls and the floor. And Dad, up here was where all that wiring was that was all melted, and it went to the running lights and the brake lights. He went in there and got it all fixed, and fixed it actually without needing to replace any of the light fixtures. So yeah, that one came on. Yeah, that one came on. If I had taken that to an auto electrical place, they probably would have charged me for those parts to get all those replaced, but he was able to save them. And Dad, I really, really appreciate you doing that for me. And so now we've got this pretty sky blue and sandy beige floor. I like the way it looks. I think it disperses the light a little better too. And it's a little more cheery in here, and goodness knows I need a little cheering up. A few other small changes that I've made for obvious reasons. I now have a fire extinguisher mounted to this wall, and I have a combination carbon monoxide and smoke alarm mounted to the ceiling over here. It's nice and slim and has a guarantee 10 years on 2 AA batteries. This will probably outlast the life of the camper, and I was happy to get that over at Lowe's for a really good deal. Okay, so this, I have not given up completely on the idea of cooking inside the camper, except for now I'm doing it a lot safer with one of these new Farberware New Wave electrical burners. And this has the benefit of not heating up at all unless there's something on it that it can magnetize to. So if I was to turn this over to boil, I can put my hand on it. It's not getting hot. I can put something aluminum on it even. Will not get hot. If it was to fall off the side and land on paper, wood, anything, it's not going to get hot. The only time that it gets hot is when something like this cast iron pan is placed on it, and it will register the steel, magnetize to it, and start heating it up almost immediately. Wow! It actually gets hot as fast as a regular gas stove does. I'm not sure exactly why these things didn't catch on more. You would think they would be on every countertop. I love these things. But there you go. I will continue to cook inside the camper and be a lot more careful from now on, and I'm only using stuff with extra safety features. Which brings us over to the new coffee maker. This is a General Electric Presto coffee percolator with the heating element in the bottom. I got that because I can no longer use the aluminum coffee percolator on my electric burner. This one, as it turns out, has a good safety feature where when the coffee is done, it shuts itself off and goes into just a simple warming mode, which is good. I've already brewed coffee in it, and the coffee comes out tasting great, and it actually percolates more cups of coffee than the old one did. And so, man, look at that nice brown, rich brown color to the coffee there. Percolators make better coffee than the regular drip brews any day. So I got that from a thrift store for $8, and I think it was a pretty good deal. Also, I tested out my indoor shower for the first time. It's working! Also, up top here, I've already replaced the VCR and the PlayStation 2. I was able to find those locally here in Sebring, Florida, and I was able to turn the camera on for the find, purchase, and test out story of these two. So let me show you that real quick. It's a little steep at 25, but they were nice enough to knock it down to 20 for me. So the reason why I'm really interested in it, first off, it is a 4-head VCR. And over here, a VCR Plus, maybe that just means 4-head. And it still has the original remote, which, as somebody that does a lot of thrift store shopping, it is very rare to find a VCR with the original remote, and so I could use this to adjust tracking, which I've wanted to do a bunch of times. Now, the only downside to this is that it is only set up for mono, which I don't think is a big deal, because I don't think there's a whole lot of VHS tapes that are set up for stereo anyway. But that is a downside. It's not like some of these old VCRs where you could hear the gears on the inside grinding and struggling. So you can tell this one's a little bit newer, cleaner, and I think it's worth $20. I'm going to go ahead and bring it home with me. Well, with the loss of my Nintendo Wii, my PlayStation 2, and my GameCube in the fire, I really need to at least get the PlayStation 2 replaced. I can go without the Wii or the GameCube for a while. That's not going to bother me, but I got to have a PS2. So out here in Sebring, Florida, as far as I know, the only used video game store is inside Lakeshore Mall. It's called Flash Games, Comics, and Collectibles. There's another one over by the GameStop further down here. Apparently they split, but I think this one might be a little cheaper.
This one's under construction right now, too.
It's under construction. So, let's go on in here and see about getting a new PlayStation 2. As it turns out, they do have 3 PlayStation 2s, but they're all the slim model, and I really want the fat because, well, the slim is known for overheating. And what was your name?
I'm John.
John that owns this little corner in here.
Ashtoons, Comics, and Toys.
Right, he's going to,
Game hunt.
do some game hunting. He said he's going to pick up a PS2 Fat sometime today, and so if I come back tomorrow, I could probably get it then. Okay, so here is the other one. It's called Battle Zone because it's not just video games. It's also those giant tabletop board games and like Magic the Gathering and things like that. But they do have video games in here, so let's go on in and see what they got. They actually have a PS2 Fat here, and it's nice and clean. Tested. Is it guaranteed?
Yeah.
If it doesn't work within how many days? 14 days. Okay, that's good. Alright, so I ended up... Huh? Oh, yeah. I ended up buying it. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and put the information out there. Okay, so this is these guys. They gave me a pretty good deal on this PS2 Fat. And then the two games that I chose to go with the 360, with the PS2, Clock Tower 3 and Monster Hunters. Monster Hunters it's a pretty common game, but I have rarely seen it in this good a condition, complete with manual. So, got those two with the controllers, hookups, and everything. It's time to test out the new appliances, the VCR, the new VCR, and the PlayStation 2. So let's get this on over to video. I think I'm going to try the VCR first. So let's switch that on over to VCR. Power. Oh, well, something's coming up here. Okay, that's a good sign. I believe I will use this vintage copy of Abyss, the precursor to the Terminator special effects. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Just tell me if this is going to work. Okay, it's playing. Well, nothing's... Ah! Okay! Boy, that actually looks nice and clear. Considering. Wow, okay. So that one checks out. Turn that one off. Alright, let's switch it on over to the new PlayStation 2, and I'm just going to use one of my old cards, one that did not burn up in the fire. I don't know how many save games I lost in that card that burned up. Alright, switching her on. Oh, what is this? Back here. Okay. Ah, light's coming on. Alright, go ahead and open her up. Alright. Oh, good sign. Good sign. Alright, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put in Monster Hunter, one of the games that they gave me with the purchase of the console. Okay. Alright, please read the disc. Come on. Okay. There's insufficient space on... of course there's insufficient space. I've been using that card forever. Let's just go ahead and get it started anyway. Capcom! Okay. The PS2 is working! That feels good. That is enough already about the inside of this camper. Let me go ahead and go on outside so you guys can see where I am located this week. This is my third year at this fair, and I've always kind of liked the camping situation because it's nice and secluded out here in the corner of this fence. It's just me and these guys, the ones that run the fried vegetable booth next to me. And this is a big reason why I set up the indoor shower, because right here, last year I had to take the outdoor shower right here with the curtains set up, and just across from this fence, going along this road, the kids would be going this way to go to school or coming home, and the bus stop was right there on the corner. So something had to be done about that. So now I got the shower inside. We still have a few more hours today before we have to open up. So let me go on in and take a walk around and let you guys see my situation inside the fairgrounds. First off, let me stress that this is not a real money-making fair. This fair goes for 9 days, and it took me the first 5 days just to break even. Some of those torrential downpours we had early in the week may have had a little something to do with that. I don't make a lot of money here, but this is my third year doing this, and once you get a look at my spot, you will understand why. It's closed up right now, but this is my booth. To one side is the fried vegetables, so at any point I can lean out of my booth and say, hey, can you give me a smaller order of fried mushrooms, and boom, there it is for like $4. And then on my other side, you can't see it, but right around this corner, there's the Dunkin' Donut shop. This is their back door, so I can step out of the back of my tent, knock on this door, and say, hey, give me some more coffee or a donut. That is available right there. And then right across from the front of my booth, there's the added convenience of having the bathroom right there. And then also, everyone that buys a ticket and comes in has to come in through this opening right here. And so the first thing that they see is the front of my booth. You cannot get a better spot than this. It's not paying off, but there you go. To the other side of the fried vegetable booth, there is the stage where they have the hypnotist show, so I have the entertainment of seeing that every night.
Arenas, like the swans at the theater, are
And then right behind that is the nonprofit, I think the senior center. And let me go down there and show you that. Underneath their big sign announcing that they have strawberry shortcake every night. You'll also notice that their prices on like hamburger and fries for $5, hot dogs for $2, beanie weenies for $1, cheddar biscuits for 50 cents. You cannot beat the prices out here. And then right across from that is the chainsaw carver, which you guys have already seen him, and you understand that we are good friends. And then right behind the fried vegetable booth, this is new this year. This is a walk-through dinosaur museum, and they've got a sandbox over here that you can dig through and use little paintbrushes and find fake fossils. The kids really love this. It keeps the traffic of the kids and families going this direction by me. I like that. They've also got a little mascot baby T-Rex that they walk around with, and the kids love that too. The other side of the bleachers going up to the hypnotist stage, there's this area right here with the camel rides, and then the petting zoo, and the bird sanctuary where you can buy a popsicle stick covered in peanut butter and bird seed, and the birds will land on your hand and eat the bird seed off the stick. Oh, Drama Llama thinks I've got something for him. Oh, don't spit on me, please. I think this is probably the highlight of the petting zoo right here. Is this big Watusi, African Watusi. It makes the long horns seem like short horns. This thing's huge. They got an African surgeon. So there you have it. Now you see why I continue to come back here every year, even though I don't make a whole lot of money. It's definitely not a money thing. But out here I am surrounded by cheap food, things to see, awesome people and friendly people to talk to, a good location for both my booth and my camper. So that is enough to keep me coming back. Okay, so that is quite enough for one vlog that gets you guys all caught up on where I'm at and how I'm doing. Again, I really apologize for my long absence and how long it took me to put up that last video. I think you guys kind of understand why. That last one really took it out of me. But I really appreciate all of you that sent all your comfort and your support. All of you on Facebook, all of you on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys for sticking with me through such an incredibly bad screw-up. Anyway, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications, leave some comments, some questions, suggestions. I love you guys, and I will see you again in the next video.